Good evening, family. This is Dr. Kia Pruitt. It is Sunday. It is August the 21st, 2022, and the time is 5:30 p.m. This is going to be a brief news update. I just wanted to talk about the deaths and severe health issues that have come about as a result of the this alleged cure for the sickness that we've been subjected to within the last 2 years. So a recent report came out kind of recently at the beginning of the summer that said that 540 athletes had allegedly died from being forced to take this alleged cure, and 833 otherwise healthy, strong young athletes were sick and being severely harmed and affected because they were violently forced to take the cure. They were saying either you take it or you can't play, or you take it and you cannot travel. So this is serious because many of them have come up with significant heart issues like cardiac arrest, blood clots, emphysema, not being able to breathe, and all type of issues that will lead to possibly their deaths. So again, that was 833 affected and 540 young professional athletes that have died as a result of being forced. Now, the most recent athlete who has come to the forefront to speak about this issue is none other than the great boxing champion, Mike Tyson. This just broke a couple of days ago, where he has said that he was violently forced and basically beaten into submission, because if he wanted to travel or if he wanted to do certain things for his family, he had to take this so-called alleged cure, and now he's afraid that he might die. This is sad, excuse me, and it's something that comes to our attention that needs to be discussed, because if athletes who are otherwise healthy, who normally can has the immune system to battle these things, are being forced or have been forced to take the alleged cure, are now dying, this means that, we can only imagine the deaths that have occurred that have not been reported, and those that may come about in recent weeks, or in upcoming weeks, or months. And so I'm just reporting on this because Mike Tyson actually wanted it to be reported. He wants people to talk about it. So I'm going to read this. It says, fully vaccinated Tyson says that he was beaten into submission to take the CVJAB, and he's now confined to a wheelchair and believes he's on the verge of dying. He says, too many not just famous people like me were forced to take this, and we need to talk about how this is significantly impacting our health, our ability to make money for our families, our abilities to travel, and our abilities to thrive. He said, I didn't do it willingly, he told Unite USA Today Sports during an interview at his cannabis business. He said, I'm a little apprehensive about that because I didn't want to take it. I was pretty much beaten into submission and forced to take this because I travel internationally. And if I don't travel, he said, I won't eat. So I decided to go ahead and take it, because that was the medical advice that I was given. And people, he said, they have their own choice. But I never got sick in the beginning, but this cure made me sick. He said that he's going to die really soon. And in this report, he said, when I look in the mirror and I see these spots on my face, I don't even recognize who I am. Wow, that means that my expiration date is coming very soon, Mike Tyson says. So let's look at this report on the New York Post. It was another report that came out. He said, money don't mean SHI to me. He said, I tell people all the time, you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have your health, you have nothing. He said, when you think of money, you think it's going to make you really happy. He said, but when you have a little money, or a lot of money, but you can't spend it, it means nothing. What matters is love, he says. How am I going to confess my love to you because I have 500 million, a billion, but I'm sick, he goes on to report. The false sense of security is what money brings for many, according to Mike Tyson. You believe that nothing can happen And more importantly, you believe that it cannot happen to you. You don't believe that a bank could collapse, he said. You believe that you're invincible when you have a lot of money, which is not true. That's why I always say money is a false sense of security, he says. Mike Tyson went on to convey that he has had conversations with his wife and helps her to see that it's not all about money, but it's about family, it's about cohesiveness, it's about love, and it's about leaving a legacy for your posterity. He goes on, he says, what is security anyway? I don't know what it is when you put money in your bank and you get a check every week and you can live for the rest of your life. Is that security? That means you won't catch a disease, you think? You think you can't get hit by a car just because you have money, Mike Tyson says? You think you won't jump off of a bridge? I don't know. Is that true security? Can money secure you from that? He asked seriously. Now, excuse me, Mike Tyson goes on to say that he had a false sense of security because he had money, but every day he looks in the mirror, he sees his morbidity, and that is bringing him concern. Family, all I can say is I pray and I hope that the med beds can cure our family members from, not only the V word that we all had been subjected to, but also the cure. Now, I've heard that it can't cure you, but then I heard that it can. And my understanding and overstanding is that this is a device that was given to us, the med beds, by our galactic family. And reportedly, you can get inside of it. It's like a tube, like you saw Michael Jackson get into, that cured him. And it's supposed to detect every ailment in your body and heal it instantaneously. It will actually even help you regrow limbs. It can regrow cells. It can regrow your teeth, which I'm excited about. And this device reportedly is something that is already out, actually. But the people who were affected by the cure and the sickness, and also our children that were rescued from the DUMBs who were mutilated and experimented upon, they will be the first to be granted the experience of going through the med beds. Now, there is also a healing device that Mr. Carmine, Mel Carmine has told me about. It's like a wand that you wave over your body or that you wave over your water, and it's supposed to transmute the energies in your water. And then when you drink it, it cures you of all type of ailments and illnesses. This wand is something that our brother Mike Carmine on XRP QFS team discusses at length. He sells it. I am going to put his link in the description box, because if you are experiencing any type of ailment, we're not doctors. I'm not getting paid for saying this, but I'm just concerned about our family members who have become exposed to this sickness and exposed to the cure and all the harms that are part of that or that are related to that. And I'm concerned, and so I want to see us healed. And when I see prominent people like Mike Tyson speak out on that, I feel like the Creator has allowed that to happen because he has a platform from which to speak and let us know that these things were being pushed upon people and these things have caused severe ailments. Like I said, Mike Tyson is now in a wheelchair, and he said he faces his morbidity. He sees spots on his face. He doesn't recognize who he sees in the mirror. So family, again, I'm going to put Mel Carmine's link in the description box. You can talk to him, contact him on his channel and see what his device does. But in the meantime, let's also look forward to the med beds. Let's pray for not just the prominent people and the athletes in our communities. Like I said, 540 of them have died and 833 are sick. And that was a report earlier in the summer. How many of our loved ones suffered as a result of that sickness and as a result of being forced to take that? We've had many of our loved ones in nursing homes, hospital facilities, or just who were threatened and forced to be fired from their jobs or told you cannot travel internationally if you don't take this. And now we're dealing with the repercussions. I lost my children's father, who was the husband of my youth. We took care of him for many years. He was the center of our world, our universe. He was the patriarch of our family. We love him. He is the father of my children, the husband that I knew from the time I was 15. He transitioned during this time, and it has been a very, very difficult time, a very hard experience for us to go through, family members. You know that, because even though he had underlying issues and he was sick, it just meant it weakened him and made him susceptible to that virus. Now, when he was in the hospital, I don't know what they did. I fought, I begged, I pleaded, and I eventually was able to go see him and go to the back, because I did threaten. You know, I said the CDC, you guys are saying, it said he has to be in isolation for many weeks, for 21 days or several more weeks. But they had actually changed the laws for 7 days. And they wouldn't allow me or my loved ones, my children, to go back and talk to him or touch him while he was going through battling this CV and all the other things that they had tried to do to him. I believe they were trying to rescue him, but he was already sick once he got exposed to that, and no telling what they did behind our backs. I'm just going to hope for the best that nothing nefarious happened. But so there's this thing called like communicable diseases, some department of communicable diseases or something that goes around the hospitals and give them a rating, and they would dictate when you could go see your loved ones despite what the CDC said. So they tried to say, well, infectious disease came by and said you have to wait 21 days. And I brought the laws that said that the CDC had changed the rules and said that you only had to be in isolation 7 days. And I brought more laws, and I brought certain executive orders from the governor of Florida. And I was very, very adamant about them allowing my children, 8 of them, and me to go back and be with my husband and my children's father, to talk to him and sing to him and touch him and hold on to him and hug him and show him love as he transitioned. But many people did not have that experience, family. I'm bringing this forward to ask you to pray for our family, because remember, according to universal law, we are all one. And when I'm hurting, you're hurting. When you're hurting, I'm hurting, because we're family. We're all in this together. We suffer together. And my goodness, if God gives me strength and give all of you and all of us strength, we're going to fight to be liberated together. So let's raise our vibrations and go to the Creator and to our ancestors and to ask them to heal us, to be with us, to comfort us during this time. I've had friends that have lost mothers, fathers, children, loved ones, co-workers. It's been a very tough time. So I know that there is power and strength in numbers. And if we all focus our consciousness together and we vibrate on the same wavelength, the same vibration, we can call forth healing, and we can call forth peace for our family members. We're one family. We're in this together. So I love you, and I am praying with you, and I send love and high vibrational thoughts to you, and positive thoughts, that the Creator and the ancestors will comfort you and hold you and rock you in their bosoms. My name's Dr. Kia Pruitt. I'm signing off for now. I love you. Namaste. Peace. Good night.